watch every weekday from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1470 WNN and TrentoVision.tv. Now, let's get a peek at Tom's view of the world. Here's Tom Trento.
All right, start peeking. You made me laugh before, CJ.
Oh, I did? Something different?
Yes, you made me laugh. Sort of a brain laugh. You've heard of brain farts?
Can you say that on the radio?
I don't know, I guess. I think you can
Kenny
say
didn't
that.
even budge.
You
I
can
guess it's okay.
He's not jumping up or into the
But the antithesis...
He's not writing an incident report.
The opposite of a brain fart would be a brain surge or laugh or something positive. And you said something that made me go, oh, we got to talk about this. Oh, this is good. This is good. But who are we? We are TrentoVision.tv at 6 minutes past 5 o'clock for all you folk in South Florida just going, all right, we're out of here. One more day to the weekend. You're getting in your automobiles. You're driving to the local pub, have a little after-work cocktail. You'll be in the car 10, 15 minutes or so. Lock it in, 1470 WNN. For those of you watching at home, what we recommend is put your computer next to whatever you're doing. If you're giving your dog a bath, put your computer right there on the ledge and be careful. Duct tape it down. We have the duct tape if you need it.
Yeah, duct tape production.
We have a lot of duct tape for you.
Do not put your computer in your dashboard.
Do not put your computer in your dashboard. No. But what you do is, what you can do, and for safety, let your 10-year-old kid drive the car. You sit in the passenger seat so you can watch the thing. I think the 10-year-olds are probably better drivers than
I think everybody's ready for milk and cookies. Yeah. This is getting silly.
Half the people in Florida, I think they're better drivers than. But you can put your computer somewhere so that you can multitask. You can do your work over here, put this thing playing over here, keep your ear attuned. That's if you're not just dedicated 3 hours a day from 3 to 6 watching this extravaganza of information and entertainment. Or if you have to go quickly on the move, iHeartRadio. And if you get iHeartRadio and you're driving around and your car doesn't have a radio, you need to listen at 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the morning to Steve Kane, the Steve Kane Show, WNN 1470. Brian starts it out from 6 to 7, Brian Craig, who's getting a little lefty there. We may have to go pay a visit to Brian, I think.
I think we have to see what's in his oatmeal.
He's driving Steve crazy sometimes with some of his, you don't know if it's provocateur, if he's being a provocateur, or if he's going,
or if he's going off the rails on a crazy train.
Yeah, could be.
Or trying to get alliances in the Obama administration.
Could be, yeah. This radio gig may not last long, but Obama looks like he's going to be here forever, maybe. So you got to listen to our good friends Brian and Steve, 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. They will give you a insight, and they take a lot of calls. We have our own kind of ensemble here. We chat, we bring on guests, we take calls here and there, and you can call anytime you want, and we may take it, we may not, but give it a shot anyway. But they do a lot of calls. They get a lot of their callers in. And a lot of the callers on Steve and Brian's show are, how would I just say this nicely? Dummies. I mean, like complete dummies, right?
Put it politely, knuckleheads, yes.
Total knuckleheads. And Steve and Brian have a blast with them. But these are knuckleheads that know they're going to get beat up, and they just enjoy it. It's what you're saying, the psychological acceptance of the fact that I get beat up whenever I talk to people smart, So
the normalcy bias.
Yeah, the normalcy bias. But you got to listen to those guys. Then we don't really care what you do from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, but at 3 o'clock, meet us back here, WNN 1470. And if you do something wrong between 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock, you're going to need Peter Feynman, okay? Because he's a lawyer that can get you out of any kind of trouble. He is one of our friends, one of our sponsors here. What do you guys know about Peter?
I think Peter's going to start representing the jihadis down in the Quasi brothers.
Oh, the Quasis?
He'll get them off. Yes, that's right. If Peter was representing the Kazi brothers, they'd be free citizens today.
That's right. And Peter would no longer be a
If
friend.
Peter were representing the Kazi brothers, they would be free citizens of Guantanamo Bay.
Yes, that's more like it. Peter's a great attorney, Palm Beach attorney, state of Florida attorney. He's based in Boynton Beach, Florida. He's a business attorney, but he does it all, and it's like a doctor. If you need a certain doctor for a specialist, how do you find out these things? Go to the internet? No, you have a trusted doctor friend, and you say, I need a guy for my elbow. Oh, go to this elbow guy here. Same thing in the legal world.
Right.
If you have a question, Peter Feynman can point you in the right direction, and I'll give you two.
That's right.
I've asked them.
That's right.
And for friends who had a question, and some were getting divorced, and he said, I got two people to try. One is a woman, one is a guy.
Right.
And I told my friend, and my friend went and spoke to both of them and picked one.
Right.
So
right.
it was pretty
So
cool.
Peter is your first call that you make.
Yes.
Whatever your legal issue is, whatever your question is, business or not, Peter is your first call. If he can help you, he will. And if he cannot, he will tell you who to call.
Do we have his phone number by any chance, Mike?
Well, I think you can go to feynmanlaw.com.
I think you can. You can go to his website. If he doesn't have his phone number there, forget about him. He's a two-bit attorney, okay? But he will have his phone number there.
FEAMAN.
And also his staff is really excellent, I can say, because I've worked with the people in his office very closely, and they're very experienced and helpful as well.
Oh, you did. Right. Oh, that was pretty good. Well, we may be having a new sponsor coming on board. It's up to you. Did you drink any of that coffee yet?
Well, no, because I'm just getting over the kidney infection, and I'm really taking it easy on the caffeine.
The caffeine, okay.
On the caffeine, but
Drinking a lot of
but
water.
We're
yeah,
waiting for
but
your
it's
approval,
it's,
CJ.
it's
We're
my
waiting for your
weekend
approval.
plans is because I want to do a good tasting. There's a lot of coffee, a lot of different varieties in there, and I want to do a real tasting. I've been to coffee tasting at roasting houses in Seattle. And there's a whole method to do it, and how you, what temperature your water needs to be heated to. And,
Whoa, this is going to be serious coffee
and
tasting.
spooning the coffee into your mouth and swirling it around and smelling it, and does it have a good nose, and then spitting it out, and then taking another sip and seeing.
It's like wine.
It's like tasting wine. I mean, there's a whole process to it.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
it was
so I
all
take
of
it
that.
it's very involved. I take it very seriously, and that's why I want to give you a really comprehensive
That's
report.
why we held it off until you came
Yeah.
back. My test for coffee is I drink it. If I don't go like spit it out, it's fine.
No, if
you know?
I
What
say
are you
this
gonna do?
coffee is good, then you need to run out and buy it. Put it that way, because I know
she's
my
actually-
coffee.
She's actually a coffee snob.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many times have we tried to run around and go, no, it's not that type of coffee. I ain't getting it.
If it passes,
Right.
if our coffee test passes the CJ test,
That's right.
then we'll talk seriously to the sponsor, because we don't want no crap coffee here by any means, And can we make money with this?
Can we make money with the coffee?
Yeah, selling this coffee and the sponsors. Yeah, I think we can. I think this is the best coffee you ever had in your life.
Well, it may
I
turn
think
out
it's
to be.
going to be.
Plus, which I know the town where the coffee, where the distributor is from, and
Because you're from the Pacific Northwest.
right. So
That's
so
the
I
reason
like
you're-
that area very well, and I like the people up there, and I'm really rooting for this coffee before I drink
Okay.
it.
Well, we know you that if you don't like it, you'll say we ain't going.
I'll
with this
say,
stuff.
don't ask me again about the coffee
Yeah,
because I don't want to have to lie about it.
Okay. And other friends of ours, we try to get our friends in that are working with us each hour. But we had that special report from Israel from Mark Kohlberg, who you can find at MKIC. ISC. MKISC. Mark Kohlberg, International Security Consultant.com.
Yeah.
Go there and get ready for the trip in February. We're going to be going too. That one's going to be for law enforcement primarily, but he has other ones he puts together.
Right.
But if
Like
you're
for
interested,
people from Milwaukee.
yeah, that was strange.
Yeah, that was cool.
This lady was on there.
Yeah.
But we also have a couple of websites we need to tell everybody about. One of them is local, BizPack Review. Jack Funari,
Yes.
Republican political activist, has put a phenomenal site together. 400,000 views per month, which is
Wow.
a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
A lot of people. How many a day? 10,000 people a day.
I think
going
that's
to
a little bit more than we get.
Could
Well, we
be.
get 107,000 on our videos monthly.
Wow. Do we really?
107,000.
I'm so impressed with us.
Yes. But BizPack Review is political stuff. You know what the irony is? Mark Kohlberg, who was just on for an hour and a half, is one of the of-record writers for BizPack Review.
That's
He
right.
does a weekly or every other
That's right.
day report on national security from the Middle East.
And so is our good friend Alan Bergstein, a regular
Alan?
writer. Yeah.
Alan
Actually,
is
we
there?
know a lot of writers from BizPack.
Let's get some Mort things.
Yeah.
We got to do the Mortzart.
His update.
Yeah. You mean the car update?
No. Well, yeah, we'll get to that.
Which one? That one.
No,
Yeah,
well,
I'm
we're
pointing to
gonna get
that over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get
I'm
to
watching
that.
it. I'm watching
But you
it.
said 2 websites.
Yes, we
So
gotta
one
get
of
those
them was
guys out.
local, and the other one.
The other one is, I don't know, is he still around? Tim Saletti? I think he is.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
He's MIA moving right now.
Oh, he's physically moving.
Yes.
From Phoenix to somewhere
He's-
in
he-
some
he-
destination.
He's going to some hideout, some safe house.
Okay. But is he still doing web work for people if
Yes,
they
he
want him?
is. Yes, he is.
How can they reach him?
TLS Web Solutions, Tea Party Tribune,
TeaPartyTribune.com.
and also the
TLS, I think it is. His initials, TLS.
TLSsolutions.com, and also Tea Party,
TrentoVision.tv. He
Tea
can get
Party
it.
Community, and we got to get people to start signing up for the Tea Party Community. It's the Facebook site and it's actually a very interesting and very dynamic site.
Tea Party Community. Okay, we got to get that
Okay,
going.
That sounds good.
And then we have Dave D.
Dave D at thepatriotspress.com.
PatriotsPress.com.
Yeah.
ThePatriotsPress.com.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot of stuff going on. And we're going to
What
bring
did I make you laugh at?
what you made me,
Blew right over that.
which
Yeah.
you excited the neurons in my brain.
Ah,
We may have to do a whole segment on it because it's so wonderful. You said, remember that little, you ever notice that little coexist bumper sticker?
Right.
Yes.
It
I just want to smash a car every time I see one of those
I
things.
know, so do
Just
I.
go bang it, just bang it into
yeah.
5 times.
And
Well, I got
those people
insurance.
never turn on their signals either when
No,
they're
they
driving.
don't. They live in a coexisting universe.
Let's
where
share the road
you-
space.
they have 6 or 8 coexist. So that's 7, right? EXIST 2
Yeah.
coexist. They have 7 letters. Each letter represents. It's in the form of a particular religion or world philosophy, and it's kind of cute in its structure. Oh, everybody can coexist.
Yeah.
Except the fundamental beliefs of virtually all of these contradict all the others, and they've been killing each other, fighting over their belief system all these years. Let's find the guy who made that, and let's get him on the phone, okay?
He's probably Unitarian.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. As Mark is.
That's right.
And, we argue and we fight a lot the Islamic jihad issue, and we root the cause of the problem in the doctrinal beliefs, the authoritative beliefs of Islam. And we say if you have a particular belief system and you actually believe it, then
Right.
it leads to behavior. Belief leads to behavior. Belief
Exact.
leads to behavior.
Yes.
Belief leads to behavior.
I have a new name for the Brotherhood in America.
The Muslim Brotherhood?
The Muslim Brotherhood in America. It's actually the Muslim KKK. I mean, if you think about the ideology of who they are and what they do, almost the same exact ideology, sympathies,
Jew hatred.
Jew hatred. I mean, and you even see them wearing in the Middle East wearing the white hoods and everything. It's the same. It's the same basic core.
I think they were doing that long before
I think they
the
had
Klan,
it before the
though.
Klan, yeah.
No, what I'm saying is, but they got it from the Klan. It is, and it is truly the Islamic KKK is what it is, and that's what we're fighting. And then
That would be good to develop, to look at some of the, and the KKK still exists. I mean,
Yeah.
these guys are still out
we're
there.
But
never.
they're just a political party, right?
Yeah, they're just.
David
It's
Duke.
like we're never
I
gonna.
get emails from David Duke. He sends them to me regularly.
And they're never going to go away.
Have you ever seen them?
Yeah,
His videos?
yeah.
What's on them?
He's in a suit, he's in a tie, and he's very appealing. He's very very rationally speaking. Very magnanimous.
See if you can pull one up, Mike.
But he doesn't sound crazy. He doesn't sound wacko.
What's he talk about?
Go ahead. I don't know what he's talking about lately.
But
I saw in the past.
he's in a very nice suit, sitting in front of a bookcase. This is David Duke, the former Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh, yeah, they got women on there.
He made the transition in Louisiana, I believe it was, he got elected to state representative, and he's trying to make. But now he's come out. He will sit there and he will say, "Okay, today we're going to talk about the economy of the United States of America, and I'm going to explain exactly why the economy of the United States of America is in the deplorable situation it is. The primary reason why America's economy is devastated is because of the Jews." And then he will go on and he will rail against the Jews, but he does it in sort of teaching. So now when the Jews believe this, if they implement this principle right here, then what you have is you have a corollary. It's just one big diatribe against Jewish people. I mean, and he puts these things out. But I'd like to see 2 or 3 parallels between the doctrine of the KKK and the doctrine of right here, Sharia, the threat to America, of doctrinal authoritative Islam, and see if we can make that case intellectually and factually.
Actually, I think it's very easy to make that case intellectually, factually. I mean, that they have alliance with the Aryan nation, just like the Islamists have. I mean, the whole ideology is pretty much similar.
And why is that? Because really, if you look at it, what is the only thing they truly have in common? What unites them?
Core Jew hatred. I mean, that core
that's what it is.
Anti-Semitism.
That's what it is.
Because
otherwise they would be killing each other right now.
Well, here's a nice parallel. Look at the Protocols of Zion. What's the number one?
Protocols of the Elders of Zion.
Protocols of the Elders of Zion. I mean, the number 2 book in all of Islam.
Yeah.
The number 1 book of the Nazis. The number 1 book of the KKK.
And Henry Ford.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's so many parallels, with them, and they're extreme socialist, just like the Nazis were, just like the KKK is, and just like the Islamists are.
All right, listen to this. I just put KKK in the search bar. Mm-hmm. The site for the KKK comes up. Welcome to the Ku Klux Klan, the Knights Party USA. Loving our family. They have a father, about 35-year-old father, mother, and 2 little kids sitting outside with American flag blowing behind them, bringing a message of hope and deliverance to white Christian America. A message of love, not hate. Okay.
What does that sound like?
Yeah, right.
What does that sound like, huh?
No, this is
All right, so I tell you, read the same thing that you're reading right now, substitute the word Muslim Brotherhood, and see how it reads.
The Muslim Brotherhood, bringing a message of hope and deliverance to white Christian America. Yeah, let me do that. A message of love, not hate. And
to Muslim America, I mean...
America, our nation, is under judgment from God. This is the homepage of the KKK. It's like totally a religious thing. There is a race war against whites. Okay?
Against Muslims.
Yep, see, it's tracking. But our people, my white brothers and sisters...
my Muslim brothers and sisters...
will stay committed to a non-violent resolution.
That's right. We're the religion
of peace.
Yeah.
That resolution must consist of solidarity in white communities around the
Muslim
world.
communities around the world.
The Ummah. The hatred for our children and their future is growing.
Islamophobia.
It is being fueled every single day. Stay firm in your convictions, KKK. Keep loving your heritage and
keep loving your religion. Keep loving Islam. Go ahead.
Keep witnessing to others that there is a better way than a war-torn, violent, wicked, socialist New World Order. Isn't that what these guys are all about? Yeah. That way is the Christian way.
That way is the Muslim way.
Law and order.
Peace and tolerance.
Love of family.
Coexist.
Love of nation.
We love everybody.
These are the principles of Western Christian civilization.
These are the principles of Islam.
There is a war to destroy these things. Pray that our people see the error of their ways and regain a sense of loyalty. Repent, America. Be fit. Billy Graham could have written this thing. This is, what do you make of it? That's the homepage of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, and this is the type of diatribe they throw out there to get them to like the KKK. It's the same type of crap we hear coming out of the religion of peace.
That's the kind of puffery they put out when they're building bridges of peace to Christians and Jews, and they want to come visit you in your synagogues and your churches.
Yet everybody knows that the KKK is an evil, wicked organization that you don't need to be with.
That's just one's burning a cross and one's burning a flag, so,
Yep.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, well, when are these politicians going to realize that they're dealing with an Islamic version of the KKK? And until we start hammering that home to these politicians, and you're going to be if you're a liberal, you're not going to deal with them, and if you're a conservative, you're sure in hell not going to deal with them. And it's just, when are people going to start waking up to this? And this is who they are. I mean, this core Jew loathing hatred is just permeating through both of these societies.
I'm reading through more of their material. It actually tracks very closely, and maybe all isms, all
well, yeah, they do, and
all
that's the
belief
reason.
systems have sort of the same format.
I don't think so.
Well, fascism.
Well, they have a format that there's a problem. We're the solution to the problem. We've got to stay united, and
Right.
we've got to defend.
And
what
we're
we
the
do.
best race, and
Yeah,
we're the best thing. Yeah, whatever.
No, pretty wild. All right, well, we have a whole bunch of things for our folks today at 27 minutes past 5 o'clock. Tom Trento, CJ, Mark, Mike on WNN 1470. It is 77 degrees in here. It feels cooler today for some reason. What is it outside, CJ? Did we do that yet, Mike? Yeah, you already gave that. We'll do the weather, and then we'll add one of our new features.
Oh, there we go. Cloudy, getting darker, and 72 degrees
72.
in beautiful downtown Boca.
So we're going to add to our
Repertoire.
our repertoire of
Yes,
me
we have an
telling you
exciting new feature.
what the temperature is inside this room, and CJ telling you what the temperature is outside this
the
room,
room.
and Mike telling you something about cars somewhere. We have a new segment for you. And this relates to exactly what we were just talking about. See, we're firm believers here at TrentoVision.tv
True
that
believers in this.
your doctrinal beliefs, what you truly believe, impacts your behavior. Get that straight, everybody. What you believe impacts your behavior. What you believe impacts your behavior. We're going to have a little segment right now, a new segment called My Sharia. Which one?
I thought you were going to the terrorism update.
No, the beliefs and then the behavior.
Yeah.
The beliefs and then the behavior. We
Yeah.
need a new floor director. Anybody want to work long hours for nothing and come and join the
Work
fun
long
and
hours for
festivities
snacks.
Okay.
We're firm believers because reality indicates this to be true. The way you think about something determines how you live in a particular way. For the sake of the audience really grasping this, you guys listening and you guys watching at home, your beliefs dictate your behavior, or your philosophy dictates your sociology. So we're going to give you the belief section, then the behavior section to show you where we're going. So our new segment is entitled
Sharia and You.
Sharia and You, or My Sharia. Take a watch and a listen.
My Sharia. My Sharia. Never gonna stop or give it up. Killing infidels, always got it planned. Underhand, give Allah a yell. Whoa! My Sharia. My Sharia. My Sharia.
That's the first time you saw that? She likes it. CJ likes it. Mark was up all night editing that.
Wow. And we were just talking about that
Yeah.
after
I'm
work
Magic
last
Man.
night.
Yeah,
And I
Magic
said,
Man.
Magic
my
Mark.
my Sharia, and everybody went, woo.
Yeah, Magic Mark.
So we're gonna read out of the Reliance of the Traveler.
For the people that didn't see that, you heard it, but it's a visual experience you need
It's
to
an
see.
extravaganza. You cannot miss this.
No, go to TrentoVision.tv for today's date, which is what?
Yeah.
What's the date today?
12/13.
12/13. Go to there, and it's part 3. We each hour is part 1, part 2, part 3. Go to part 3, and you can see our new little bumper for this segment. We'll bring you maybe every hour. We'll see. But tell them what we're doing with it, and then I'll get into it, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, we're highlighting Sharia and you, how you can live under the Sharia caliphate, how the Sharia Ummah, if you will, and we're going to read passages from the Reliance of the Traveler and
From
let
wherever,
you- from wherever,
we'll
right?
pull stuff out.
How life
But it's
is
their
doctrine,
doctrinal belief, yes.
and this is right out of legal jurisprudential. Codified law, certified by every Islamic authority throughout the world and in the United States.
Yeah, and the little book we have here, you can see it, Reliance of the Traveler, is the law book for Islam. Islam is a very authoritative religion, and many religions have authoritative elements to it. But we throw this word around quite a bit, Sharia or the Sharia. Mark was explaining a bit of it the other day. The etymology, the way the word developed, is the concept of the path to water. We won't get into all that now. All you need to know right now, viewing and listening audience, Sharia means Islamic law. You'll be seeing a fight in the Florida legislature in about 2 months, about a month or so. I'm sure a bill is going to be put forward,
Reintroduced.
Yeah.
I think this is the second year. The bill simply says that when there's a dispute in Florida, no foreign law will ever be used to resolve the dispute. We use American law. Seems kind of
American laws for American courts.
Seems kind of just self-evident.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, let's use American laws. Well, if you go to England right now, there are British laws where we got our common law, American common law came out of Britain. And if you go there, the great Brits the Magna Carta, they put the Magna Carta together, and we saw the Magna Carta, right? We were there. Where was that? National Archives. The Brits have, last count, something like 85 Sharia courts operating in a parallel system in England. What does that mean, Tom Trento? That means if you are a Muslim, you don't have to go through the British court system to resolve some of your differences with other Muslims. You can go into your own court system. We think that is devastating and destructive to a society and horrendous public policy. That's why the state of Florida is introduced. What was the name of the thing?
American
laws for American courts.
American laws for American courts. The Muslim community last year in the state of Florida went insane.
Yep.
Is the word Sharia or Muslim in American laws for American courts?
No.
No, not at all. But you mean us. You mean us. You mean us. Well, if the shoe fits it, wear it, you know? If you're not going to try to implement your parallel system like you've done in every other country you've been in,
like Egypt,
then don't worry about
just
it.
look at all the countries of Europe where they're implementing
and
it.
also this Friday there's a big reformation on table in Egypt to 100%. We're not talking about like Sharia
sprinkling,
light.
salting.
No, we're talking full bore Reliance of the Traveler Sharia all the way down to its basic core essence. Everything about it. I mean, this is not just like jurisprudentially, you solve land abuse, disputes or anything. This is full on
in Egypt.
Right.
But in Florida,
Full
it
Sharia.
doesn't start out that way. It starts out with, just let my brother and I have a dispute. We're Muslims.
Yeah.
We have our just like Jews have their halakhic law and Catholics have canon law. Let us just have our Sharia because we've already worked, Mohammed has worked this out. We don't need
Right.
goofy judges in Florida,
Right.
and which is a democracy, which is obviously opposed to Allah anyway. Let us just work it out. And dumb leftists in the
Yeah.
state of Florida go, okay, just
Because
let 'em
they
work it
want to
out.
coexist.
Coexist.
Oh, it's like that
Yes.
girl we called in the other day. He says, "Well, do you support Sharia law? Well, do you think it's a?" It says, "Well, do you think it's compatible with the U.S. Constitution?" Yes. Do you believe in polygamy? Yes. Do you think is that
Oh,
part of
the
the
girl
Sharia?
from- yeah, the
is that part of
girls-
Sharia? So right there, boom, right
Boom, yep,
within
yep.
within 2 sentences. I mean, she's 180 in diametrically
again.
opposed.
All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to read from the Sharia book, okay? Their Sharia book, The Reliance of the Travelers, but we want to let you see Mark's little editing from last night. One more time introducing our new segment, My Sharia.
My Sharia. My Sharia. Never gonna stop or give it up. Killing infidels, always got it planned. Underhand,
Suhail
give
Khan.
a lot of yell. Whoa. My Sharia. My Sharia.
Who the heck is that?
My Sharia.
Who is that guy yelling, My Sharia, the Sharia, the Sharia?
Mohammed Morsi, the president of Egypt.
Okay.
Wait a minute. What's he doing in our video here? Hell, that guy get in the video?
I hope we don't have to. Maybe he'll contact us and want a percentage every time we
really.
show him.
Yeah, percentage of our skin.
Yeah.
You know?
So what's the Sharia
He'll
update
sue
you have
us,
for us,
yeah.
Tom?
Okay. We figured the place to start isn't in Islamic law for cleaning yourself after you go to the bathroom.
Right.
Figure we won't start there because if you use one hand instead of the other, Allah is not happy with
You
you.
lose a
Okay.
point.
But doesn't one hand wash the other?
Actually, that's a good way to tell a jihadi how they shake hands. If you put out your left hand, they don't shake it. You know they're jihadi.
We won't start with the laws about wearing gold jewelry. We won't start with the laws about men not being able to wear silk clothing. We won't start with the laws about men being able to beat their wives. We won't start with the laws about you're allowed to kill your son or daughter if they convert to Christianity. We won't start with any of those things
We're
yet.
going to do Sharia light?
Yes.
Sharia law.
No, we're going to start where a lot of people are confused. You hear this word thrown around, and whenever you hear it, one of the Islamic imam apologists in a beautiful suit, beautifully trimmed graying beard with the Queen's English will give the definition of jihad.
Right.
Okay.
And the definition they give is typically what?
It's an interpersonal struggle. It has nothing to do with with killing anybody or anything like that. But you guys are just crazy. You think that way. It's just interpersonal struggle. It's and Sharia just kind of gives you a general guideline of how to do it.
Yeah, you get that.
It's a journey of personal
feel-good
discovery,
Personal discovery.
to understand, to get closer
You're-
to Allah, and the
Right.
Prophet Muhammad is your guide for that.
You're Jewish. I may have some anger toward you. I have to deal with that internally. And as I come to the awareness that we're human beings and Allah loves all of us, I've had jihad internally, and I now accept you.
Right.
I've gone through jihad.
Right.
That's how it's explained by
Right.
these scam artist
Yeah.
Muslim leaders out in the world.
The
okay?
Islamic KKK.
If you anybody listening to me right now, if you convert to Islam as a Christian, if you want to go through Christianity to attain heaven, you ask me, I'll tell you how it's done. As a Muslim, if you convert to Islam and you go to somebody's going to tell you the truth, and you say, how do I make it to paradise? They're going to give you this book and say, follow this book. That's the
actually
rule book.
Seen that book in many mosques and books just like it.
This is the rule book. This is all the rules in a life, because Islam is a works righteousness faith where you have to work your way into heaven to do more good things than bad things. What are the good things? What are the bad things? How am I supposed to know? It's written down in a book.
Everything
right
is written down. You don't have to think in Islam. You're not required to think in Islam. Just follow the rules.
And there's an index in the back. You can pick out a subject. Mustache. The sunnah of clipping, not trimming your mustache. Probable enormity of your mustache.
How to walk into a bathroom.
Jihad.
How to walk into a bathroom.
Or I can put my finger over here. The length of Quran recitals. I can put my finger here. Grain. Selling while still unharvested. Should I sell grain? Well, in a sense, you don't have to think. You just go to this book. I will go.
Thou shalt
we'll go
not
right there.
think is the first commandment of Islam.
We'll go right here. Let me get to anything here. Oh, that's not it yet. Oh, airplanes. What was that? But we're going to do jihad, but I'm just showing you prayer in airplanes, accusing of adultery, sodomy without proof, accusing one's wife, any and everything. All right, let's go to jihad. What does the book that is the accepted rule book for Islam say about jihad? I'm reading it. Remember our thesis, folks. Our thesis is the way you believe determines your action. We're going to illustrate this graphically in a second. I'm going to tell you what Muslims believe if you're following Islam. If you don't follow this stuff, you're not a good Muslim, okay? It's that simple. I'm reading The Objectives of Jihad on page 602. Follow along at home with your reliances, please. I will read in Arabic. Assalamu alaikum. No, my Arabic's a little weak right now, except for Assalamu alaikum. All right, the objectives of jihad. The caliph, who's that?
The leadership of the Ummah.
Yeah, the caliphate is the Ummah. Little lesson in all of this, because that's what we do. The Ummah is the family of Muslims. Do Muslims CJ? This is a test.
Oh.
Do Muslims respect or see geographic boundaries?
No.
Doesn't matter what country. Nationalism is really repudiated in many respects, because you're of the family of Allah, which is called the Ummah, U-M-M-A, the Ummah. That's why the 1.3 billion, 1.3, 2.3 million here in the U.S. are supposed to all function as one. Okay, watch what happens. The caliph, the head of all of that, or if all the Ummah is not united, the caliph in your state or your country or your family, whatever, the caliph makes war upon Jews. So somebody in an authority...
Right off the get-go. I mean, they just go right after the Jews.
That's like rule number one.
Bam, okay, kill the Jews.
How many words did it take?
Okay.
One,
All right.
2,
One,
3,
two,
4, 5,
yeah.
6. Took 6 words.
To get to kill Jews.
Yeah, it took 6 words to get to killing Jews in Reliance of the Traveler.
And how much difference is this in the KKK, Tom? Please explain that to me. I mean, you can't even get back to 2 words with the KKK. Now you get to kill Jews.
No, how insane is a 2-state solution? It took 6 words before the rule book says you can start killing Jews, okay? The caliph makes war upon Jews, Christians, hey, we're in there too, and Zoroastrians.
Zoroastrians.
Zoroastrians. Yeah, Zoroastrians. Zoroastrians, because there is Zoro.
Yes, 2001 Space Odyssey.
They are they're the former Persians, actually.
they're the
Thus
Persians,
spake Zarathustra.
They're the Persians before Islam.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the caliph makes war against the Jews, Christians, and Zoroastrians, provided he has first invited them to enter Islam in faith and practice.
You got to invite them into. If you can't kill them unless you got to invite them first. If they refuse your invitation, then you can kill them.
Well, how come it wasn't worded? First, invite the Jews, the Christians, and the Zoroastrians into Islam. If they don't accept, then make war on them. Well, he says, but it's interesting how they put the priority of the sentence first in the rule book.
Actually, going with that jihad rule book, Bin Laden followed that rule book
Absolutely.
straight. He says, okay, I got to invite everyone to Islam before I strike on 9/11, and that's exactly what he
That's
did.
exactly what he did.
The Caliph makes
Yeah.
war upon Jews, Christians, and Zoroastrians, provided he has first invited them to enter Islam in faith and practice. If they will not enter Islam, then he invites them, the Caliph, the leader of this state, he invites them to enter the social order of Islam. What the heck is that? The social order of Islam.
I thought it was just a simple religion. There's a social order
Yeah,
too.
they can become dhimmis. That's what they're talking about there.
Okay, so what this is saying is we can kill Jews, Christians, and Zoroastrians. They were the people of the book. We can kill them. But first, we have to invite them to accept Islam, to convert, right? We invite them to convert. If they don't want to convert, that's okay. Then we invite them into the social order of Islam by paying the non-Muslim poll tax.
Jizya.
The jizya.
There's a word there, Jizya. What is that?
Jizya. That's the tax every non-Muslim must pay, and it's I think 1 dinar. Is it or one? They actually give a specific value of how much. Yeah.
All right. So
I'm sure that changes by local.
No, but it's actually a weight
localities.
of gold.
Yeah.
so before we're now the subject
That's the
is
minimum.
the subject is jihad.
Right.
So before we can go jihad on their head, we've got to invite them to. It's like evangelism. You got to go. We got to. Hey, this is a great religion. This is funny. I've spoken to many people in my life about. They ask me about Christianity. I'll explain. It's a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, all that stuff, and love, and they go, no. It would be nice to say, well, now I kill you. Okay, you don't want to do this. I have to kill you right now. Okay,
But that's what it is, though.
don't kill me. All right, you got to pay me a lot of money.
Right.
Then.
Or here, no, you got to pay me. Here,
If you don't want to become a
protection-
Christian, you got to pay me a lot of money.
It's actually what it is. It's protection money because you pay them for protection. It's protection money.
Okay, let's
From themselves, it's extortion.
let's
Hey,
work our
good
way through.
afternoon, Mike.
Sorry, I'm awake now.
Thanks for joining.
It's protection money.
If somebody's just tuning in, we have to tell them we're not reading from a comic book that is the companion comic book to that Innocence of Muslims goofy trailer you saw. We're not reading from the companion comic book mocking Islam. It's not what we're doing. We're reading from the rule book of Islam,
Which is
mocking the ridiculous principles of Islam, clearly, because they're incoherent and they're destructive
We
to
are going to
human
get
nature.
in so much trouble.
Which is approved by the Fiqh Council of North America, who runs all the Muslim Brotherhood or the Islamic KKK groups in the United States.
This is the stuff that's killing people, not what we say. What we say is saving people. What these people say is killing people. Don't ever forget that. Here's what happens. The Caliph makes war upon Jews, Christians, and Zoroastrians, provided he has first invited them to enter Islam. So you got to, the Caliph will say for Jews, Christians, and Zoroastrians living in his land, you want to accept Islam? No. Okay, then you now have to become part of the social order of Islam by paying a non-Muslim poll tax. You got to pay that, which is the significance of their paying it, not the money itself. Oh.
It's not about the money.
It's about the control of
It's about the control and it's about
submission.
submission.
Why do you think Islam means submission?
Oh, is that what Islam means?
Submission.
I submit.
Islam means
I
submission.
submit to Islam.
Yes.
This
Or
is very
Sharia.
interesting. In the legal code of Islam, it says that if a person doesn't want to you want to live in a Muslim land, and you don't want to accept Allah and Muhammad, then you got to become part of the social order, and you got to give us money. And it isn't. It says right here, we don't really care about the money. We care about the fact that you submit to us.
That's right.
Okay, let's go on.
That's right. Well, that's what the rabbi was talking about yesterday. The point that he was making about
dimitude.
the dimitude, about the submission.
While remaining in their ancestral religions. So if you want to stay in that religion, you got to keep paying the money. If you want to get out of that religion and come and accept us, then you don't have to pay the money anymore. And the war continues. The jihad continues until they become Muslim, or else pay the non-Muslim poll tax in accordance with the word of Allah Most High. Now, it gets better. That's the rule.
That's like rule one.
In order to validate the rule, it's written in Arabic right next to it. And in order to super validate the rule,
We might have an expert.
okay, in order
Yeah.
to super validate the rule,
Yeah.
we'll get to Andy in a second here.
Okay.
They actually quote a verse out of the Quran.
Yeah.
Now dig it. The scholars interpret the Arabic. The scholars interpret the verse out of the Quran, then come up with the rule and write it in classic Arabic. So there's no dodging this thing.
Right.
It's
There's
covered.
no saying, oh, you're just
Well,
misinterpreting.
Yeah, there's no misinterpretation here.
Well,
Listen to the verse.
Okay.
Fight those who do not believe in Allah and the last day and let me read it the right way. Fight those who do not believe in Allah and the last day and who forbid not what Allah and his messenger have forbidden, who do not practice the religion of truth, being of those who have been given the book until they pay the poll tax out of hand and are humbled, the time and place for which is before the final descent of Jesus, upon whom be peace. After his final coming, nothing but Islam will be accepted from them, Jews, Christians, Zoroastrians, for taking the poll tax is only effective until Jesus' descent. Upon him and our prophet be peace, which is the divinely revealed law of Muhammad. The coming of Jesus does not entail a separate divinely revealed law, for he will rule, Jesus will rule, by the law of Muhammad. Jesus is Muhammad's first lieutenant to implement Islam under the prophet's guidance.
Yeah, Jesus is a slave of Allah, in essence. I mean, of Muhammad.
That's enough, I think, for everybody to chew on right now. Then we'll get into all the
Then
death
we'll get
stuff.
into how do you get from taxing to killing?
Well, and I want to bring up one critical point here is, here's something that was written by Sayyid Qutb, who is the preeminent, the founder, the ideological founder of the Muslim Brotherhood or the Islamic KKK. He says the basis of the message is that one should accept the Sharia without any question and reject all other laws in any shape or form. This is Islam. There is no other meaning of Islam than Sharia.
The Sharia. Andy, what do you think about all this?
Thanks for your program today. I just wanted to mention something that I have a strong feeling about something and to get all of your opinion on.
Sure. We only got a couple minutes. We apologize, but go ahead real fast.
As I watch the Israeli government and the U.S. government, it looks like to me that Tel Aviv will be nuked. With their current way they're doing things, there's no doubt that Tel Aviv will be nuked, and the Israeli government and the U.S. government will not act until after Tel Aviv has been nuked. Does that make sense?
If at all.
Let's do this. Why don't you raise a vitally important question that we do a lot of work on? It would be we would be remiss to get into. We only have about a minute left to get into all the detail. But if you will call back tomorrow, we can give it enough time. But CJ, Mark, quick response to Andy.
They're not going to do anything. Israel's on its own, in a nutshell.
Well, he said even the Israeli government. He said they're not going to do anything either.
Right. Well,
As in,
yeah.
he thinks that that they're not going to
There'll
do a reactive strike before.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
Andy, let's do this.
Well, that's actually a prevailing theory by one of the people over. Do you remember what's his name? He was saying that almost at
over in Israel. You mean one of our
yeah.
friends over there?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Barry Shaw.
Yes, Barry Shaw.
Yeah. No. You make a very good point, Andy. I'm going to have to let you go right now because we got to wind things down. Give us a call tomorrow. We will get into that in detail.
Thank you.
Because you're very welcome.
Thank you,
Because
Andy.
I'm in agreement the United States is going to take a pass on this.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to be very, very bad. It's going to be, oh my God, we didn't know they were that advanced.
Oh,
with
we
their,
didn't think they
their
were
rockets.
really
it's
serious.
really serious. Oh God,
Yeah.
they really believe that stuff?
Gee,
You know.
we strongly condemn this, and we'll send any aid and blankets that we can.
And we're going to have to fire General Petraeus for not having the intelligence that we need to.
And I don't know who dropped the intelligence ball.
In any
Yeah.
event,
It'd be a blame game.
we're gonna go out right now with our new segment, the little bumper from our new segment, and we will see everybody tomorrow. And too late. All right, we're out of here. We gotta go. Kenny's gonna take us away anyway. See you later, man.